Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Tales of Arise. Ich bin Surfix. Wir sind Alphen ohne Maske. Und beim letzten Mal haben wir uns ja hier unseren Freunden anvertraut. Wir haben mir von den Geschehnissen erzählt, die inzwischen, wie wir gehört haben, für über 300 Jahren stattgefunden haben. Wo er mit der Hilfe von Naori zum Herrscher wurde und dort, ja, etwas Furchtbares getan hat, auch wenn er noch nicht ganz genau weiß, wieso. Ich sehe dich, Alter, dafür brauche ich nicht mal meinen Hudel hier. Alphen ist nun bewusst, dass er für den Tod von vielen anderen verantwortlich ist. Und die Frage ist natürlich immer noch, wie es nun weitergeht. Was macht er? Retten wir schon, weil er beim letzten Mal ziemlich bestürzt war. Doch so wie es aussieht, schaffen es hier, seine Freunde wieder aufzubauen. Wir reden jetzt noch mit Law. Das sieht aus, als würden wir es erstmal trainieren müssen. Und dann schauen wir mal, ob wir hier zur Shionnes Rettung endlich aufbrechen können.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shionne or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man. Snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shionne.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shionne?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shionne's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shionne or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shionne. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
Ja, kann man nicht runterspringen. Schade. Fand ich jetzt nicht so. Also, ehrlich gesagt, fand ich am schönsten das Gespräch mit Dolim und Kisara. Das fand ich am interessantesten. Wie gesagt, Dolim ist, glaube ich, jetzt unser neuer Anführer, liebe Leute. Tut mir leid, Alphen, du wurdest abgewählt, liebe Leute. Dolim ist jetzt unser neuer Bossmann.
Alphen! There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right. Great to have you back. Now let's do this!
Wieso kriege ich eigentlich... Ey Leute, Mann, das ist doch eindeutig sein Story-Arc.
If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Und wieso in 10 Gottes Namen kriege ich nicht eigentlich einen neuen Skill mit ihm? Verstehe nicht. Strategie? Gruppenausstellung? Gruppenausstellung. Ich muss jedes Mal schauen. Tor lieben raus, ja, und dafür Lore rein. Da weiß ich mal, wieso ich down gehe, oder? Oder mein... das haben mir meine ganze Reihenfolge kaputt gemacht. Also. Der ist da unten. Rinwell ist da. Okay, passt. So. Rinwell nicht wieder nach 2 Sekunden sterben.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come. We can't let even a single one through.
There's a firm no-Zoogle policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
It's over. Double Demon Fang.
Tja, ist schon viel leichter, wenn man nicht alleine kämpft, gell? Oh, der Pennermann. Leute, ey, was war das, Mann? Jetzt, Mann. Ich weiß noch nicht, wie sieht das jetzt aus mit mystischen Artists? Klappen die jetzt? Okay, unser jetzt Superhit sieht irgendwie ziemlich unspektakulär aus. Okay, ist halt viel leichter, wenn man nicht alleine kämpft. Au. Und zick! Immer Dorleben. Solange ich mein Dorleben habe, ist alles in Ordnung. So. Oh. Gegner ist noch da. Ist nur dagegen herumgeflogen.
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
you know, this limb kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home, they took everything from me, and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Shionne comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Shionne, then we defeat Volron and liberate Dahna. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait, don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine, let's get going. Thistleum was founded by Danan's fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon. Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shionne?
Of course not. Shionne's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renan. But ever since getting to know Shionne, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, Thanks, Kisara.
Natürlich brechen wir auf, aber davor erstmal hier ein bisschen Sidequest wieder. Ihr wisst, wie man gegen Zeuge kämpft, dann muss ich euch um einen großen Gefallen bitten. Ihr scheint wirklich in einer ernsten Notlage zu stecken. Ich hätte schwören können, dass wir bereits alle Zeugen ausgelöscht haben, die das Dorf angehen wollen. Oh, ihr hört das? Die Zeugen versuchen gar nicht, uns anzugreifen. Sie stehen unsere Fische. Die Fische? Ja, diese Affenzeugen haben riesige Arme. Wir schlagen mit ihnen auf die Wasseroberfläche und erzeugen so massive Schockwellen. So haben sie die Fische und diese an die Oberfläche treiben und dort weggeschnappt werden können. Irgendwie haben sie das in letzter Zeit gelernt und sie sind verdammt gut darin geworden, weil es uns so hungrig macht. Da sitzt sie echt in der Patsche. Verdammt richtig. Es ist ja nicht so, dass Fische auf Bäumen wachsen. Diese Raubfischerei ist nicht gut für unsere Gewässer. Oh, es geht hier darum, wie sie fischen, als um den Fakt, dass sie euch die Fische wegschnappen. Ihr seid die Einzigen, die das Zeug dazu haben, diese verrückten Affen zu vertreiben. Können wir uns auf eure Hälfte verlassen?
Okay.
Auf jeden Fall. Wir werden diese fiesen fischenden Zeugen ein für alle Mal vertreiben. Ich hätte es selbst nicht besser formulieren können. Die Situation hat sie erzürnt, da sie selbst angehört ist. Das ist nett von euch, Ma'am. Tut mir leid, dass ich euch das aufbürde, aber wir wissen es ja zu schätzen. Okay. Können wir mal machen, wenn es uns über den Weg läuft. Alles gut, Frau Superanglerin. Dann müsst ihr wieder angeln. Hudel? Hudel? Level 32. Oh mein Gott, sein Special Move ist halt jetzt so hart schlecht, Mann. Er ist halt echt badig, Mann, wenn sein Special Move so schlecht ist. Keine Sorge, ich besiegte schon. Also ich muss jetzt sagen, da bin ich jetzt fast ein bisschen enttäuscht, dass es jetzt keine taktische Änderung gab. Wo? Mich charge keiner. Okay, vielleicht gibt's doch mal, weil keiner mehr halt, Mann. Verdammt, Mann. Weil wir keinen mehr haben, der vernünftig heilen kann. Das macht die Sache schlecht. Nee, aber der Punkt ist jetzt eigentlich, den ich gemeint habe, was unschön ist, dass es wirklich keine Änderungen gibt jetzt, wie vom Gameplay her. Also da hätte man jetzt schon ruhig was machen können, dass man jetzt irgendwie sagt, okay, er weicht jetzt irgendwie besser aus oder mehr aus, irgendwie. Oder er weicht mehr zurück. Weil, weiß nicht, also, ein bisschen enttäuschend. Hey, ich habe eigentlich immer noch 2 Heiler an sich, gell? Also, Kisara ist in ihrem Supermodi. So, ich weiß doch, dass er heilen kann. Hat er nur keine Lust gehabt. Ja, Shionne ist da ein bisschen flotter mal gewesen. Alter, wie der Höhe rumhüpft, Mann. So nicht, Mann. Gar keine netten Gegner, Mann. Die Affen hier. So, zweimal besiegt. Ja, immerhin gibt es hier mal halbwegs Erfahrungspunkte.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menancia myself.
Not that I don't agree.
Let's see what you've got.
So, warte mal. Theoretisch müsste jetzt... Genau. Auf einen haben wir damit getroffen. Oh! Mich nervt das so, Mann! Und ich schon keine Spiele, liebe Leute, Mann. Shionne fehlt mir gerade echt sehr ohne ihn Heal, Mann. Aber sehe ich das gerade richtig? Wenn wir jetzt hier Shinron retten, dann werden wir wahrscheinlich den letzten Lord hier bezwingen. Heißt es dann, ich kann meine alte Herrschaft des Schreckens wiederholen? Wir waren doch mal Herrscher, oder? Hättest du anstatt diese blöde Maske nicht, weiß ich nicht, 1 Milliarde Geld nämlich mitnehmen können. Aber nee. War schon wieder zu viel verlangt. So. So, da hinten ist ein Camp. Da könnte man theoretisch auch lang latschen, aber an sich bin ich geneigt, immer Gegner. Ja, genau. Ja, das sollte man schaffen. Hoffe ich. Hä? Hä? Jetzt. Der gestellt ihn halt so derbe gar nicht. Kisara geht einfach alle 2 Sekunden in den mystischen Adelsmodus, weil sie irgendwie so viel Schaden bekommt, man. Sie kann halt aber nichts, man. Ich meine, Law ist noch furchtbar, weil Law ist dasselbe, nur dass er halt dazu noch schneller Daumen begeht. Wollt ihr mal in der Luft hier angreifen? Ui. Ich und mein Dorle, wir managen das schon wieder. Keine Sorge, der Rest von euch kann Pause machen. Das will ich auch hoffen. So, roter Lavendel. Das ist sehr gut. Sieht übrigens sehr hübsch aus, der Dschungel hier. Also, viel schöner als der in Elderman das hier.
What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Shionne? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit. It feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hoodle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered could be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
What do you... So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution, until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renan like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me, I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shionne and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shionne is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you a million times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones, so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
I really hope Shionne's okay.
I get why you're concerned. But if you don't rest when you can, you're going to regret it.
She's right. We need our rest to conserve our strength.
Yeah, you're right.
Leute, es hat sogar unser letztes Essen, hat doch Shionne gekocht.
We'll save Shionne.
Okay, liebe Leute,
will.
beim nächsten Mal versuchen wir dann weiter Shionne zu retten, doch davor machen wir jetzt einen kleinen Cut und dann würde ich sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal von Let's Play Taste of Rise. Bis dahin, haut rein, auf Wiedersehen, ciao.